Huh. Don't know what they're trying to route me on there. I think they're trying to route me through these folks' driveway. That's interesting. I kind of had to get out of that shop. You know, if you've watched my videos about why we do this channel, it was listed in there. You know, I'm somewhat, I mean, I've always been self-employed, and so I'm somewhat of a workaholic anyway. But that's not the only reason I decided to, you know, get this channel going, get something going that I can get out of that shop. And at the time, I couldn't even really talk about it to anybody except for people that were very close to me. But I think maybe it'll do somebody out there some good to hear, as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story. So I will go ahead and give you the rest of the story. And I guess it starts on February the 11th, 2022. I'm not sure exactly when this video will be uploaded, if I'll even ever upload it, but that's when it started. I woke up, that was a Friday, and I woke up like any other day and getting ready for the closing up the week down in the shop, look at what I was going to be doing over the weekend, and there was some blood in my urine, quite a bit actually. And so of course I immediately went to the doctors, and they sent me for a scan right away. And you know, I figured, okay, I got some kidney stones. Oh, this ain't going to be fun. You know, but I mean, I'll just have to deal with it and, you know, do the best we can with what we got. And they did their scan, and they told me go home. The doctor would call me with the results, and she called. They close early on Fridays, my doctor's office, and she called me right before they closed. I think it was actually after they closed, but she still called. And she says, she said I had a very large mass in my bladder and I needed to see an oncologist immediately. And she read the report incorrectly, I will tell you that. But she said it was 11 by 13 centimeters. I didn't think nothing of it. But I know that she read it wrong, because she even asked me if she could get me something to help me deal with this for the weekend. And I said, no, I can deal with it okay. And so I hung up, and when I thought about that, I thought, 13 by 11 centimeters, that's huge. Now I was really worried. And of course I called Michelle and told her, and you know, she immediately stopped what she was doing and come home. And well, let me preface this by, Michelle's lost a lot of people that were very close to her to cancer over the last couple of years. And so for a husband of 30-some years to be hit with that was not on my agenda for the weekend, that's for sure. But she got home, and she kind of went into fight mode. Started calling places to get me in, find out what could be done. And everywhere that we called, they wouldn't be able to see me for 5 to 6 weeks, 5 to 8 weeks, something like that. And so, but she had one number to UNC Chapel Hill that she kept coming back to. And she said, no, I already called them. I got to call someplace different. She actually even threw that number away. And something kept nagging at her to call that number. And so, you know, like I said, everybody told me 5 to 8 weeks before they could even get me in to see a doctor. And she called this number, and it was at arguably one of the best cancer hospitals on the East Coast. And the number was a direct line to the assistant to the urology oncologist, the top person there. And she says, can you have him here Monday morning? And of course she said, yeah, we'll be there. So we went in and we spoke to the head doctor there. She says, I don't even have your chart. I don't know how you got in here, but you are. And I'm thinking the whole time, you know, we spent a lot of time in prayer over the weekend. I'm going to tell you that. And I thought, well, I know how we got in, but anyway, she got the chart and she looked it over and she clarified that it was 11 by 13 centimeters. So nowhere near as big of a deal as I had just, well, no, not I, we had just lived for the entire weekend. You know, there is nothing that really hits you harder than thinking you might not have much longer to go. You know, it's like a ball bat hitting you in the face. I'm going to tell you that right now. But we found out it was smaller than what we thought. And so we talked about the options, and, you know, her suggestion was surgery. And I thought, you know what, the good Lord has put me right here for a reason. And so I'm going to listen to her because I shouldn't have ever been able to get into a doctor that fast. So I did, and the surgery was scheduled for, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks later. And they asked if we would be okay to do it earlier if an opening come up. I said, of course. And so she called, the hospital called me about 5 times within a couple of days, and finally the scheduler says, I don't know, I have no idea how this has happened, but we can do your surgery next Monday. Again, I said, yeah, I know how it's happened. So 10 days after I had a symptom, I was in there and they did the surgery. And I'm not going to go into all the details of the surgery, but it was done. And now it comes time to get the results. Stay in there, puppy. And so she said, you know, they felt like they got everything. I would need to go through a BCG treatment quite a bit, which is why I have not been on the bike in several weeks. And it starts out every 3 months for like, it starts every week for 6 weeks, then it's every week for 3 weeks, and then it stays every week for 3 weeks, or it stays once a week for 3 weeks every 3 months, and then every 6 months. And this is about a 3-year program to make sure I stay cancer-free. And I told her last time I was in there for the treatment, I said, you know, I already know the good Lord has healed me, but that's okay, because I'm going to go through all this discomfort just for your satisfaction, so that you know. So you're welcome. And she got a kick out of that. You know, she liked hearing that. But the results were, what I ended up having was a low-grade cancer with high-grade focal points. And she said it's very rare. I think she said she may have seen it one time before, or has never seen it before, but it was one time at the most she's ever seen anything like this. And what it meant, according to her, was the focal point, the high-grade focal points were getting ready to turn into something that would have been an entirely different conversation to have. It wouldn't have been the conversation that we did end up having. It would have been an entirely new one. But they got it in time. Okay, it was getting ready. She wouldn't say how long it would take. Would it have taken 5 years? Or would it have taken the 5 weeks that every place else was talking before I could even get in and see a doctor, or before even this hospital was talking before I'd get the surgery? Well, we'll never know, but I can tell you right now, the good Lord got me in there quickly for a reason. So, but so that's kind of my little testimony. That's why I don't get out for a few weeks at a time, because when I'm getting the treatment, I don't really ride a whole lot. And so we keep some of these videos, you'll notice, this video might, it might be a month or 2 months out, or you'll know some of these videos I'm still back with the old red handlebars on there. Because we keep we hold back some of the videos so that we can go ahead and upload them when I'm not able to ride. But that's going to be, less and less time in between when I'm not able to ride. So, that's a very blessed thing. But, well, I've got a treatment tomorrow, actually, and so that's why I just had to get out of there today and go ahead and go for a ride. So, and this would be the last of a round of 3, and I'm feeling pretty good today, and the weather is good today. And so I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and take the opportunity on this. So, I guess now, you guys know the rest of the story, so to speak, kind of like Paul Harvey would say. And it's not to say, oh, I'm so sorry for you, It's not to say, oh, that's terrible, we feel sorry for you, I've had people say, well, we're going to keep you on the prayer list, and absolutely do that, but put me on the praise list too, because I give nothing but praise for the way that all of this has shaken down. And quite frankly, it has made me see a lot more clear just how small we are and how we need to keep looking up. So with that being said, internet, I'm going to buzz off here, because I really got to keep track of the traffic on this road. It's a little bit of a busier road. But until the next one, hey, stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels turning. Till next time, we're out.